Hey, what's up guys? You're watching DIY Dozier, and on today's episode I'm going to show you how to install an Autostop Eliminator harness on your 2024 GMC Sierra. Stick around, I'll show you the tools that are required and how to get the job done. So behind me is a 2024 GMC Sierra. It has the auto stop function button on the dashboard, which disables the vehicle whenever you stop at a red light or a stop sign or in traffic. Sometimes it can be a little bit annoying. Autostop Eliminator is a company that sells a harness which eliminates the function of your start stop. If you don't want it to work, you can press the button and your vehicle will no longer shut off. It's kind of an annoying thing at traffic lights. You know, it has an impact on your AC inside your vehicle. So a lot of times folks want to bypass this. I get tired of pressing the button every time I get inside the vehicle, so I figured I'd go ahead and pick up one of these harnesses. I have installed one of these previously on a 2019 Sierra that I had several years ago. This one behind me is a 2024. I just picked it up, and the procedure will be similar between the 19 all the way to the 2025 GMC 1500 as well as the Silverado. However, there will be a few variances depending on if you have a bench seat or if you have bucket seats with a center console in your vehicle. So some things to note about the Autostop Eliminator is it is 100% plug and play. It also maintains your start-stop button functionality. It has no parasitic battery drain, so you're not going to have to worry about coming out to your vehicle and your battery being dead. It is emission compliant. It does not disable the active fuel management system, and it works with all GMC Sierra 1500 gas and diesel engines. In order to be installed, you'll need a few tools for the job. It's going to require some dash removal tools or panel popping tools, a 7mm socket or driver. So on the 1500 pickup, there's a couple variations in the harness. You have one that is called the AE030 and you have one that is called the AE039. When you're checking out on the website, it's going to ask you which model harness you are going to require. So the AE030, that harness is made for the 2019 to the 2022 1500 pickup. The AE039 is made for the 2022 to the 2025 pickup. The only one that you need to actually look into to be very careful with is the 22. If you have a 2019 to a 2021, then when you select it in the drop-down menu, it's going to be in that category. If you have a 2023 or to a 2025, then that one is going to be in the correct drop-down when you click that. But the 2022 model specifically, if your 12th digit on the VIN number of the truck is a 4 or lower, it's going to be the pre-refresh model. So that's going to be 2019 to 2022. Now, if you have a number 5 or higher on your 12th digit on the VIN, then that is going to put you in the 22 to 25 model range for your harness. Be sure you check the 12th digit of your VIN if you have a 2022 model truck. So when you order the Autostop Eliminator harness, this is how it comes, shipped, very small, autostopeliminator.com. Let's have a look inside the box. Upon opening the box, you're going to find your invoice for what you purchased. You're going to have the Eliminator harness here with a couple zip ties to help secure the wires out of place. And then you're going to have your harness specific model number, which is right here on the left hand side of this card. And it's going to tell you to go to the autostopeliminator.com website, and you can look up your vehicle specific installation instructions there. Something to take note with the Autostop Eliminator harness is it's going to come with your factory OEM style plugs on the harnesses, which is a huge plus. This is a much better quality plug than what you're going to get on Amazon or from other Chinese knockoffs. The next thing that I noticed on these other harnesses that you can find on Amazon that are cheap is they don't have anything to protect the actual module. This one is a solid piece. It's protected. It's not exposed. It's not just a circuit board with nothing on it that can bump into something or short out if something touches it on the solder points. I don't like that. So this is a much better quality harness, factory plugs, pinning. I mean, you get what you pay for, folks. When you go online and you look for one of these and you buy the Chinese replica knockoff one for 50 bucks or 60 bucks, you get what you pay for. Over time, you're probably going to have problems with it. This is 99 bucks, folks. Plug and play. Excellent OEM quality product. It's a no-brainer. Some of my gripes with the factory auto shutoff feature on the truck is going to be that if you've got your AC blowing, hot or cold, depending on what time of the year it is, it's not going to blow the same. There's going to be a slight variation in it. I'm a little bit OCD. That bothers me, so I don't care for that. The next thing is if you're in, a high traffic area and you stop at a four-way stop sign, or you're on a side street and you stop at a stop sign, and then you need to get out and go in traffic, when you take your foot off the brake, there is a slight delay for it to crank up and be in drive and go. I mean, it's not much, but it's a second for sure. It's a second. I just feel like I would rather have complete control of my vehicle, and I would like it to stay running constantly and not have to worry about a delay with the auto stop. Let's show you where this button's located at inside your vehicle. So going in here to center console, there's your button right there with the little A on it. It's your auto stop button. So your harness is going to be located directly behind that. So we need to gain access back there to install your new Autostop Eliminator harness. This vehicle is a 2024 GMC Sierra AT4. This one has bucket seats in the front with the center console. There are other models that do not have the center console that are just a bench seat, and it has a column shifter. If you have that, the process to put this harness in is going to be a little bit easier because you will not have the panels on the side and all that to get from the console. But with the console truck, this is the process to gain access behind there to replace the harness. There is another model of 1500. You might find other videos that show that you have to take off the dash panel over there, and then this, under the steering wheel, and then this panel here, and this panel would actually wrap around right under here, and it would wrap around over to this side. Well, that's not the case with the AT4 or probably the Denali as well as the High Country or the LTZ Silverados. This truck is completely different. There is not another video on the internet showing you how to disassemble this vehicle. What you're going to do is you're going to take off this side panel right here first on the passenger side. After you get that panel removed, there's going to be a 7mm bolt right there that you need to take out. It attaches this panel here all the way across to this side, and it also goes all the way across on the other side of that radio there. After you remove that bolt there, you're going to come over here and you're going to remove this fuse trim panel here. It just pulls straight out this direction to the right. So just a couple of snap tabs, it pops right out of there. After you remove that fuse panel there, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take out this 7mm bolt here, and you're going to also take out the 7mm bolt here. This panel is attached to this lower panel, but you don't need to take off the whole panel. Just get it where you can pry it away, and then you can pull this panel out. With these two screws out of here, all you do is pry out just a touch on this panel here. You see how I'm pulling it out? Get it out and off of this. Now, like I said, right around here, there's a little tab that this is attached inside here. So you're going to have to separate the two. This whole piece here is held in place with little snap tabs. I would start over there, pry those out by hand, and then, of course, pull these out. And once you get over to here, just flex this panel out a little bit, and you can pop that little tab off of there. And to give you a closer look at the back of this panel, again, that little tab that you see right there, this little black tab, that is held in place by that little black tab there. So again, you're going to have to pull this panel back just a hair, and that little guy will release from this hole right here, and then you can get this whole panel out. So there's that whole dash trim panel there, and like I said, just little snap tabs held in place all the way across there. Next, at the radio, what we're going to do is there are 4 7mm bolts underneath the screen. So we have to remove all 4 of those 7mm bolts, and this whole piece will come out. And I'll explain a little bit further in just a moment how to get that out of there. Now that the 4 bolts are removed, we can go ahead and pull this radio out. And the reason why I refer to it as radio is it's the screen here with your climate controls, with all your buttons. They're all attached together and they come out in one piece. What we're going to do is it's going to have snap tabs that pull out of the bottom here. And there's 3 hooks at the top. 1, 2, 3 that go up and behind the dashboard like that. You got to get that to go down. So we're going to pull out at the bottom, get these to snap free. And then the top 3, they're kind of hinged. We push them down so the screen will go down. And then there's another safety hook that's behind the center of the radio that you'll have to, once you come out this way a little bit, then you can go up and it'll unhook from the back and then the whole thing will come out. I'll see if I can get a good camera angle for you. If not, then I will show you what it looks like behind it once we get it out. Here you go. So with the radio pulled out, you can see the 3 hooks I'm referring to. Snap tabs that go up. 1, 2, 3 across the top back of the radio. So again, all I did was take my hands on the right and left of the center of the radio bezel here on the bottom, and just pried with my hands. I just pulled with my hands a little bit. It's a little bit nerve-wracking. It's going to be a loud, hard snap when it lets go. But yeah, as you can see, little plastic snap tabs. One there. They're all across the bottom, all across the middle. And here's your safety hook, I'm going to call it. When you go to put the radio back in, you got to go over this. So you got to go over that into that hole, and then you're going to go down a little bit, and then you want to go up so you can get these little tabs to go up into that hole and the hole over there and the one on the very end. And once it snaps up into place, then you can press the bottom portion back into place. So now that we have the radio out, here is our auto start stop button. And if we go behind the panel, it's going to be our bottom harness. Right there. That's our harness right there. So again, right there, if we go around behind it, I've just got the radio sitting there. That's our harness right there on the back. So we're going to take that harness, pull that little red tab out towards the dashboard, and then you can squeeze the plug and pull the plug out from the actual button. If you turn the radio clockwise a little bit here and kind of tip it up on its side, you can, without disconnecting everything, you can see that little plug down there. See that little red part? All we got to do is get our flathead into that little red portion and wedge it out. This is really hard to do with one hand. Alright, so from here, take your flathead, put it down in there, and pry it out. See how I just pried that red tab just pulled out? So after you pry it out with the flathead, this little red tab piece actually slides all the way out of the plug. So take that little red tab, pull it all the way out of the plug. You just set it aside, and then there's a little button on the plug that you can press like normal to get it out. So that little tab, that little red tab prevents you from being able to push that button. So you got to completely pull the red tab out before you can hit this button. Pull that button, or press that button down there, pull it out of the back of the harness, and then you can install your Autostop Eliminator harness. So there's only one way that this thing can go in, and that is the female hole right here. That's where your factory harness is going to plug in right there. and then this is your male end, and this is going to plug right back into that button right there. So after you get that plugged in, you want to take your provided zip ties from Autostop Eliminator, and you want to zip tie this up kind of like this to the existing harness back there in the back. That way it's not flopping around and rattling, making noise when you're driving down the street. Let's get that done. Side note, you will not need your red locking tab to reinstall this harness. So the new harness, when it goes into place, it has a nice solid click when it goes in. You'll hear it and feel it. It's tight, it's not coming out. So looking back here, I have the harness installed. You can see it's plugged in right there, and it's just kind of dangling here. So there's that. I'm going to take this and throw a zip tie on it, zip tie it up to itself. Or actually, I'm probably going to zip tie it to this harness right here. Right there like that. Just pull it up and zip tie it there and tuck this thing back in there. So I have my zip tie installed right here on the factory harness, holding this module back here. It's good to go. It's tidy. I'm going to take the radio, tuck these wires back behind the dashboard. I'm going to slide this radio back into the dash. Make sure when you're reinstalling your radio back into the dashboard that you take a little care on the left side here. That harness is going to be wanting to protrude out towards the left, so just tuck it back in slightly. There's a big cavity in there that it can all just fall right into once you get it, you know, snug and up to the dash. So again, when reinstalling this radio, you're going to go, there's a big hook on the back. You want to take that hook, center it up and over the little hole that hook is supposed to ride in. So you're going to go kind of high with it. You're going to go in, and then you're going to go down to set that hook. And then you're going to take the 3 tabs on the top of the radio, which have to go up, and you're going to press those in and up, and you're going to feel them lock into place across the top, which secures this part. Once that locks into place, then you're simply going to go down to the bottom, and you're going to press firmly across the bottom, and you'll feel it snap in place. And then you install your 4 screws back in where they were. After you have your screws in place on the radio, you're going to reinstall this big panel here that's going to go all the way across underneath the radio, down the side, and across here. Remember, when you're putting it back in, you're going to have to pry this panel out just a touch to get this little tab right here, that little guy, to go inside this little hook there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. After you have that popped back into place there, you're going to come back with that 7mm screw, and you're going to put it right back in that hole you got it from. Then you're going to take your other 2 remaining 7mm screws, and you're going to put them back in these 2 holes here. Next, we're going to reinstall your fuse panel cover. So take note, this has a couple of hooks on the back, 2 big long ABS plastic hooks. Those hooks are meant to go behind this weather stripping here. Kind of cock it out a little bit. You're going to stick it in behind the weather stripping, and then you're going to rock it forward into the holes where those snap tabs belong. Look at that, one-handed. Just like that, nice and buttoned in, nice and smooth along your weather stripping. And the last panel we got to pop back in place is going to be this one right here on the side of our console. And we're all back in place. And now that we are completely installed with our Autostop Eliminator harness, the last thing we need to do is give it a quick test and make sure it works. So you can see down here that the button is not lit up currently. So that means the Autostop is currently not turned on. Now, the purpose of this harness is to retain, okay? So that means if I was to turn this button on, which is now on, and then shut the vehicle off and reset it by exiting, close the door back. So now it's like we just got back out of the truck, and now I'm going to act like I'm getting back in the truck. Okay, now I'm going to crank it up. That light should still be illuminated at this point. And as you can see, the light is now illuminated. So it retains the on-off wherever you left it for the memory feature. So that was the purpose. I'm not going to go out and test drive this one to show that it's not working. You'd have to just go do that on your own if you chose to do so. I hope that this video will help somebody in gaining the confidence that they need to install this product. It really is simple. Anybody can do it. Just got to get a little bit of courage and get over the fear of tearing apart a brand new vehicle to make it work. But hey, you can do it. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. I'll be sure to respond as soon as possible. Enjoy your Autostop Eliminator. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you like the content, be sure to click that like and subscribe button so you'll be notified of future content being released. You are watching DIY Dozier. As always, share the knowledge, share the passion, share the skill, do it yourself.